So, you've got a Yorkshire Terrier. You already know they're one of the most ridiculously adorable dogs on the entire planet. But you might also be dealing with let's call it, a very specific, very persistent challenge. Today, we're going to break down exactly how to potty train your Yorkie with a clear, step-by-step system that I promise you actually works.
Okay, let's just start with the question that I know is on your mind. You love your dog to pieces, but you're finding little puddles everywhere and you're starting to wonder, is this just my life now? Well, let me tell you, you are so not alone in this. And here's why it feels so incredibly hard. Because it is. It's not you, it's the breed. Seriously, Yorkies are famously one of the toughest small dogs to potty train. It's a combination of their teeny tiny little bladders and, let's be honest, their legendary stubborn, strong-willed personalities. So just take a deep breath. We're going to tackle this together.
So where do we even begin? Well, that brings us to our first major section, building your foundation for success. The absolute bedrock of potty training any dog, but especially a Yorkie. It all comes down to one simple, powerful concept: routine. If you can get this right, everything else just starts to fall into place. Now, when we say consistency, what are we really talking about? It's not about being some kind of perfect drill sergeant dog trainer. No, it's just about simple repetition. Dogs learn from patterns. They thrive on them. If their schedule is all over the place, they just stay confused. A predictable schedule is literally the clearest and kindest way you can communicate with your dog.
Okay, so what does this essential routine actually look like? Well, here are the absolute non-negotiables. You take them out, 1, the second they wake up, 2, right after they eat, every single time, 3, after every single nap, 4, right after a fun playtime, and 5, in between all of that, you're still taking them out at least every 2 hours. And yeah, it sounds like a lot because it is. But this frequency is the absolute key.
You know, this quote just hits the nail on the head. It puts it all into perspective, right? We would never get mad at a human baby for not being able to hold it. It's the exact same idea here. Your little Yorkie puppy's body is still developing. They physically do not have the bladder control yet. So our job is just to give them as many opportunities to get it right as possible.
All right, so that brings us to section 2, the positive potty method. This is where we see how that routine we just built turns into a training technique that is fast, effective, and most importantly, completely fear-free. This is all about making them want to go potty outside.
The whole method really just boils down to these 3 super simple steps. Number 1, pick one spot in the yard and make that the spot every time. Number 2, the second they finish doing their business, you reward them instantly with a treat and tons of praise. And number 3, when accidents happen, and oh, they will happen, you just clean it up calmly. No yelling, no scolding. That's it. That's the core of the whole thing.
So let's dig into that first step for a second. Why is one spot so crucial? Well, because a dog's whole world revolves around scent. When you keep taking them back to that same little patch of grass, their own scent acts like a giant flashing neon sign. It sends a signal straight to their brain that says, aha, this is the bathroom. You're literally using their own biology to help them learn faster.
And this right here perfectly shows why steps 2 and 3 are so critical. Just look at the difference. On one side, you have positive reinforcement. You're building trust. You're clearly communicating, yes, that's what I want you to do. On the other side, punishment just creates fear and a ton of confusion. A scared dog doesn't learn what to do. They just learn to be scared of you. And that will always slow things down.
I absolutely love this quote because it just sums up the whole philosophy. This isn't about being harsh or showing them who's boss. It's about being the most predictable, reliable, and positive thing in their world. That consistent kindness is way more powerful than any punishment could ever be.
Okay, so we have our routine and our method. Let's move on to section 3, managing your space. Honestly, this is the secret weapon, because the best way to deal with accidents is to stop them from happening in the first place.
Here is the golden rule. If your eyes are not physically on your puppy, they need to be in a safe, confined space. That could be a crate or a little puppy-proofed area. And this is not a punishment. Dogs have this amazing natural instinct not to soil their den, where they sleep. By using a crate, you're tapping right into that instinct and helping them learn to hold it way faster.
And for those times when they are out with you, you basically become a detective.
You are constantly on the lookout for these classic signs. The second you see them start sniffing the floor, or circling around, or just getting kind of restless, don't wait, don't even hesitate. Scoop them up and take them right outside to your spot. Every time you do that, you're reinforcing the lesson. Oh, this is what I'm supposed to do when I feel that urge. And that brings us to our final and maybe the most important section of all: patience and realistic goals. Because let's be real, frustration is the #1 enemy of dog training, and the only way to beat it is to have realistic expectations about how long this actually takes.
Just take a look at this timeline. Potty training is a marathon, okay? It is not a sprint. In the first couple of months, you're just looking for some initial progress. You're celebrating the small wins. It can take up to 4 months, sometimes longer, to see a real drop in accidents, and even longer for them to be 100% reliable. And guess what? That is completely, totally normal.
So if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you've had a bad day, I really want you to remember this. Every single accident, every frustrating moment is not a sign that you're failing. It's just a normal part of the process. You're teaching a totally different species how to live in our weird human world. You're doing a great job just by being here and trying to learn.
So let's bring it all home. The real key here is to stop feeling overwhelmed by everything you could be doing and just start with one small change. So looking back at everything we've talked about, the routine, the positive method, managing their space, what is the one simple, consistent thing you can absolutely commit to starting today? Because that one thing, that's where your success story really begins.